Putnam Landscape Associates. I'm at Tobey's house in Weston. Just going to give you an overview of pretty much everything you have in the property, and this way perhaps understand a little bit more of the maintenance requirements. These two trees are both dogwood trees. That's a bloodgood maple. Okay, the dogwood trees sometimes get anthracnose disease, which makes a discoloration to the leaf. You don't absolutely need to treat it, but if you want it to look the best, then you can do fungicide, 3 fungicide treatments in the spring to treat these. Okay. You've got a lot of forsythia, which are these guys back here on the property, and they make a good border. They bloom yellow in the spring, grow super fast. Okay. You've got spruce trees along the edge here, which we'll see how they do over time, just because there's not enough, probably not really enough sunlight. That's why some of them are already starting to deteriorate in health. These are white pine trees. These I'd have these trimmed at least every other year, because if you trim them too far back, they won't regrow. The growth buds are only on the end of the limbs. All right. These are all hemlock trees. You have a bunch of these in the property, and the hemlocks get hemlock woolly adulgent insect and hemlock scale. These have been treated in the past. I can tell you that the previous owner was treating these, and that's why they look nice and healthy, and they don't have the insect issues that they would typically have if they were not treated. Okay. It's difficult to see exactly how much mulch you have in the property right now, obviously underneath the snow. I'll go around and I'll start kicking and see what's what, but it doesn't look like you have any mulch in this area. Okay. Macrophylla hydrangeas. You have to trim those at the right time of the year. If you trim them too late in the season, you'll lose the flower the following year. Those are all American boxwood. Those have to be trimmed twice a year if you want them to look like that. Hinoki common cypress. It's been there for a while. Pretty mature, but it's going to get much bigger than that. Something to be aware of. At some point you might have to move it. Again, more American boxwood. This is called carex grass. Azaleas. Daphne. The front walkway, at some point you might want to have it reset. Let's see, a lot of the joints have all spaced apart over time just from frost heave. So something to think about that I think probably needs to be fixed in the next couple of years is resetting the front walkway. You could reuse the stones that you have and just reset them on top of the gravel footing, or you could consider putting it on top of a concrete footing so it doesn't shift with the freeze thaw every year. Okay. Ornamental grasses, rhododendron, glow blue spruce, holly. This is actually a cherry tree in the corner. These are noticeable for getting an insect, a boar's insect, so these usually we treat these too. We treat them with the same chemical that we treat the hemlocks with, but I would recommend treating this because once that insect takes over, it usually kills the tree, and I see it quite often. Okay. Spirea, more hemlock, dwarf Alberta spruce, hemlock, more mophead hydrangeas, Andromeda, holly. It looks like you might have some water issues. There's a big puddle over there behind the dwarf Alberta spruce. That might just be able to fill with topsoil to fix that issue, so you don't have water sitting there. But perhaps it's not really something that really worries you. And when you do grind the stump in the backyard, you might as well go around and grind the other stumps in the property too. Okay, I noticed there was some other stumps. Outdoor lighting has to be adjusted, directional, as also replacing lamps. We could handle that for you if you needed that done, as long as it's low voltage. We don't do line voltage. If I'm looking at this, I believe these are all low voltage fixtures. Okay, let's walk to the back. Again, don't use salt. on any of your masonry walkways. You'll burn through the cement. You got to use something like a magnesium chloride. Oh, let me get in the backyard here. Okay. These are all roses, and they're quite large. These I would really rejuvenate, cut these way down this spring. Alright, so this way they don't look like they're too big for the area. Can't transplant them, they won't transplant. They'll die if you try to transplant them. More holly, that's American holly. It's a tree form of holly. Spirea, ornamental grasses. Dwarf Japanese maple, that will grow 15 feet wide over time. It's only about a third of its mature size. It's a beautiful tree, I probably wouldn't move it, but at some point just realize it's going to get too big. Same tree over there, dwarf Jap maple. More hemlock along the back edge that need to be treated. Again, more white pine, which you'd probably consider trimming back so you get some more sunlight for the grass underneath it. Same thing, white pine. Need to clean up the sucker growth on this oak tree. So clip up some of this growth that's extending off the trunk of the tree. Doesn't look good. It'll look a lot better. That'd be my suggestion. And we do all the irrigation service, the lawn fertilizing, tick spraying. We do a whole service, which we'll send over a coordinating quote via email. But that's it. We'll chat soon. Thanks for the opportunity.